Today we are learning about the sources of energy. Sources of energy. As you know that energy is used in our daily life in different sectors for different purpose. We can take some examples. Just for example, for cooking we are using energy. Throughout the world every kitchen uses energy for cooking. In the same way, in transportation also we are using this energy, not only cars and bus and trains, but in aeroplane also it is used. In the same way, there are thousands of industries throughout the world. They also utilize energy. And beside this, there are many sectors where we are using different sources, different energy sources for different purpose. But the question is, these different energy sources, fuels, where are they found in the nature and how do they come to us? According to their source, they are broadly divided into two categories, two types. One is called renewable source of energy. Another is called non-renewable sources of energy. Now we are focusing on two major sources of energy. One, renewable source of energy. Another, non-renewable source of energy. Now, what is renewable source of energy? Let's talk about this. The sources of energy which recover itself in the nature after their use due to high rate of production than that of the consumption is called renewable source of energy. Rate of production is high, but rate of consumption is less, isn't it? We have to remember this. Or we can say like this also, the sources of energy which when once used again recovers in the nature by the natural process and never finishes are called renewable sources of energy. This way we can define renewable source of energy. Now in the same way, what are non-renewable sources of energy? The sources of energy which cannot be recovered in the nature after their use due to higher rate of consumption than that of the production are called non-renewable sources of energy. Or we can say like this also, the sources of energy which when once used cannot be recovered in the nature within short period of time and reduces from the nature are called non-renewable source of energy. This way, actually, the sources of energy is categorized into two. It's clear now. Now I want to differentiate them with other points also. Look at this difference. Let's say this is renewable source of energy. Another non-renewable source of energy. Non-renewable source of energy. Shortly I am writing. Okay. All the renewable source of energy are perpetual. Renewable sources of energy are perpetual source of energy, they never finish. But non-renewable sources of energy are exhaustible. Now, second point we can say that usually renewable sources of energy doesn't pollute the environment. They do not pollute the environment. Pollution free. We cannot say all the renewable sources are pollution free, but usually they are pollution free. But non-renewable sources of energy produces pollution. They produce. Sorry, I am writing just the word only. You can remember with these words. Number 3. Now, renewable sources of energy are normally cheap. They are cheap source of energy. But non-renewable sources of energy are expensive. These are the basic points with which we can write the differences between renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. But now let's talk about the sources, exactly what are they. I made a list of renewable sources of energy here and another list of non-renewable sources of energy here. You have to remember this because anytime any question can come, make a list of renewable sources of energy or make a list of non-renewable sources of energy. These are the renewable and non-renewable sources. Now I will say, look at this. Renewable source of energy, solar energy, tidal energy, biomass energy, which can be further divided into solid biomass energy, liquid biomass energy, and gas biomass energy. And solid biomass energy sources are firewood, cow dung, cake, etc. Liquid biomass energy, the alcohol is liquid biomass energy. Gas biomass energy, biogas, which we make in the villages normally. And other are wind energy, geothermal energy, hydroelectricity, hydrogen. These are the renewable sources of energy. This is a list which almost covers all the renewable sources of energy. But in non-renewable sources of energy, fossil fuel. And fossil fuel is further categorized into coal, petroleum and natural gas. And not only fossil fuel, there is another non-renewable source of energy, that is nuclear fuel. Especially uranium having atomic weight 235 is used to produce nuclear energy. Okay, this way we can remember the list of renewable source of energy and non-renewable source of energy. In next class, I'll tell you each and every renewable source of energy and each and every non-renewable source of energy with description. I'll tell the description of these sources of energy in next class. This was